everyone. How are we? Let's have a look. Make sure I'm where I need to be. How are you? It's Watch Me Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Here we are, another week. Oh dear. It goes so quick, doesn't it? It goes so quick. So here we are on Watch Me Wednesday. This is a regular every Wednesday Facebook Live that I do. If you don't know me, hello, my name is Natalie O'Shea. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, which means that all the products that I'm using today are from a company called Stampin' Up. If you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, just think Tupperware for crafters. So all Stampin' Up's products you can only buy from a demonstrator. But don't worry, because you found me. So all is good. So I can lead you to anything that you see today that you might like to buy. And you can see it across there. You can shop at www.natalieoshea.stampinup.net. I see I have people are there already. Gosh, and two people that normally miss me as well. Hello Zoe, hello Kim. So let's get rid of that. So yes, so as I say, so you won't find Stampin' Up products in Hobbycraft or anywhere like that. You have to come through a demonstrator. But as I say, don't you panic, because I am here, ready and willing to supply you with craft supplies. So a bit of news as well, so some things that I wanted to share with you. Obviously, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you will know that Stampin' Up celebration promotion that started way back in January, and already we are hurtling towards the end of March, means that the celebration promotion is almost over. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there are lots of blog posts and my newsletter that talks about it, but basically it's freebies when you buy £45 worth of products or more. It's also extra freebies if you place large orders, and it's also extra freebies if you come and join our team. So if you kind of sit there and think, yeah, I'd like to make some money crafting, that sounds like a great idea, then you can join at any time. There is no pressure to do so. There's just a special offer, and it's normally the best offer of the year, that if you join us now, and we're a team of over 200, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Everything is a fun. We kind of are known as the fun team. So if you want to come and join some people that don't take themselves too seriously, have fun. Some make money doing this, some don't. Some just enjoy the discount for themselves. It's really up to you what you want to do with it. But if it sounds like something you quite fancy, then message me, because up until Sunday you can pick £170 worth of anything in the main catalogue, spring summer catalogue, or clearance rack or anything, for just £99, and that includes your postage. So 170 quid's worth of stuff of your choice for £99. You can't get much better than that. And oh, I have got it, hold on. This is going to have its first outing soon. If you like a tote bag, oh hang on, which way? That way. If you like a tote bag, all coordinating, all beautiful, then you can't buy these. You can only opt to have one when you join. So for £125, you can pick the same £170 of your choice and get the bag as well. So it's a great bag. I've done videos on that before, so have a look at those if you want to see that more in depth. So that's it, but Sunday, and it's all over and done with for another year. So if it's something you're thinking about, don't wait too long. Just message me and I'll be able to help you with any questions, and no pressure. I don't do pressure. There is no catch. It really is that great. Lots of people join just to get the discounts for themselves. Lots of people join to share the discounts with their friends and family. Lots of people join because they want to run classes or are already running classes. And some people do this as a part-time job and a full-time job, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. So it's entirely up to you. It's very flexible. Right, so that's enough of that. Celebration, don't miss out. This is it. So next week when I come to you, no celebration chatter. However, I do have some other news as well. Now, if you get my newsletter, you will have seen this yesterday. But for those of you who don't, look. And this is for you, Zoe, as well. I can see Zoe commenting on that. Have a look at this. Storage. Adaptable to what you want. Storage for ink pads and marker pens. Storage for the alcoholic stamping blend. Alcoholic? alcohol stamping blends, tops for re-inkers. They hold 20 re-inkers, open ones so that you can put embellishments in, ribbons in, whatever you want. Look at that. How cool is this? So not just for the crafter, not just for the crafter, although obviously now the ink pads only take the new style ink pads. So if you've got old style Stampin' Up ink pads, then they won't take them. But how cool are they? But they're not available until April the 1st, and we have been told that it's not an April Fool's joke. So yeah, Stampin' Up have been working on storage for a long time, and they finally found what they thought was the most flexible. People can buy what they want. They're about £13 for sort of each section, or like 5 trays, so 5 of the blends trays, 5 of the ink pad trays, and you just pick and choose what you want. And that's it, and they all stack on top of each other, and they've even stacked 50 on top of each other, and they haven't fallen over. I wouldn't recommend that, but it's just to be proven that it can be done. So yeah, all available April the 1st. So I'll be sharing, so I shared it in my newsletter yesterday. If you don't get my newsletter, then go along to me at www.natalieoshea, that's NATALIEOSHEA.co.uk, and you can sign up for it then, and you will hear from me next Tuesday. And I'll give you all the details then, but I will be updating my blog with the information as well on Monday. So yeah, so you can find it all sorts of places, but I love it, and it's white, and look, it's all white here. I always get it wrong that way. Hey, there we go. So what else have we got to do? So first of all, if you comment on this video, I will enter you into a little prize draw. So we had this last week, and last week I was giving away, because I was watercolouring, I was giving away a pack of watercolour pencils. So a pack of 10 watercolour pencils, limited edition, you can't buy them. And the lucky winner was Sarah Broderick. So Sarah, I have messaged you on the last video and tagged you in, so hopefully you'll get my message. So PM me with your address, and these will be going in the post to you. So Kim wants that clock. It does all look beautiful, doesn't it, Ali? I know. Hi, Steph. So there we go. So Sarah Broderick, that's that. And so this week, what have we got? So if you leave a comment for me on this video, and don't worry if you're not watching me live, if you're watching the replay, you can hit replay, or say replay, or just leave me any message. I like to hear from you. I like to hear that I'm not talking to myself. So this, no, always the wrong way. I never get that right, do I? So this is what you can win this week for leaving a comment. So it is the Petal Passion Memories and More card pack. Now if you're not familiar with Memories and More, it's as the name suggests, you can use it for memory keeping in the pocket style scrapbooking way, or you can use the cards. But I've used the cards, in fact my February online class was using the cards to make cards. That's why it's memories and more. So yes, you can do so much more with it. So you can make banners. There are lots of, I don't want to open it because it's all sealed nicely. So there are 3x4 cards, and there are 6x4 cards, and you can literally stick that on a card front and your job done with a lot of cards. So if you like leaving little notes or anything like that, there we go. And it's gorgeous. It's all blacks and pale pinks, and it's yum, yum, yum. So Petal Passion Memories and More card pack is yours, or oops, it is somebody's, if you leave a message, and I will pick it next week. So what else do I need to tell you about? I've done that. So the latest online class, so I do a monthly online class, and this month has just closed and finished, but I will be launching, I don't think you can see it, it's actually behind me there. That is next month's online class. It's all about bags and boxes. So I can't show you yet, but I will release that next week as well. So that will be on the blog, that will be in the newsletter, and you'll have till the last Sunday of April to get a kit for that. But if you like bags and if you like boxes, then that's the class for you. Right, what else do we have? I think we should just go straight into it, shouldn't we? I think so. Pauline's got craft envy. I'm sorry, Pauline. I have waited 20 years for this. I'm showing off there. Look, you're seeing what next month's class is. Oh, I don't actually know. Oh, you can sneak a peek of them, but there we go. You'll have to make the picture big. I don't know how big I am, but there you go. Right, okay, so I'm going to move my laptop out of the way so I don't knock that over. I've shown you the lovely video. Let's show you what we're going to be making today. And I have had requests for men's cards, and I know a lot of people struggle with men's cards. So I thought, it's Watch Me Wednesday with Natalie, so let's make a man's card. So, oh, I'm all a bit wiggly on there. That's better, that's a bit straighter. Right, oh, see my hand coming in. Let's change cameras. There we go. Look at this. I really love this. And that you can see, look at that. Whoop, whoop. There. We've got some heat embossing on there. What am I going to do to you today? And look at all those cogs. And the sentiment says, all geared up to the gears, cogs, whatever you want to call them, all geared up to celebrate. You see that? Oh. But there you go. But actually I'm going to make a kind of slight alternative. So I'm going to show you how I made this, and then I'm going to make a slight alternative to it today as well. But I thought that was pretty good. In fact, my husband even walked in last night, having made this yesterday, and he went, oh, that's nice. Well, if we've got husbands, there's not many that would turn round and sit there and go, oh, that's nice, to what we make. You know, they don't take much of an interest really, do they, generally? But yes, he was impressed with this, so he liked that. So it has men's approval. Men's approval already. Hello, Nadine. So, oh, lots of people joining. This is lovely. Hello. If you're new and you haven't seen me before, give me a heart, just because I want some love. You can't see that, but yeah, give me some hearts going up there. Oh, I have to keep moving this. So, let's get started, because I did explain last week that I'm only going to show one card, each one of these, because otherwise it goes on forever. And we're already 13 minutes into this and we haven't even started yet. So let's have a look what we are using. So in the Spring Summer catalogue, you have a product suite, Geared Up Garage it's called, and Garage Gears Thin Knit dies. You can buy them independently. That's a stamp set. It's a cling mount stamp set. Or you can buy the dies separately, or if you buy them together, then you will get 10% off. So lots of these images will cut out. I mean, Stampin' Up is well known for its coordination, not just in colours, but in punches and dies as well. So that die punches that out. Punches, doesn't punch, does it? It cuts. That one cuts, ooh, hello. That out. So you can see these are the actual size on the front here as well. And look, no fussy cutting, although this isn't too bad. If you had to fussy cut this, it wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, look, all of these. Cut out all the images. Well, I could keep going, couldn't I? Oh, we've got a speech bubble. That doesn't go on something. That must be the... that one there. There you go. So it just means that you can stamp an image and you're not having to fussy cut. Now there is more to this set of dies. Let's just put all those back. I'll move them onto a magnetic sheet now. I've kind of opened them and used them. But, oh, additional to all those dies are these dies as well. So you get all these as well. How amazing is this? So you've got a couple of individual ones and a nice big one. How fab are they? So all those dies that cut out the images and all these cogs, gears, whatever you want to call them as well. So, as I said to you, I'm going to make a slightly different card and then I'm going to show you how I tweaked it to make that. So I know that on here I've used 4 different colours of foil paper, or foil card. I've used the copper, I've used the gold, I've used the silver, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, perhaps you can on those two. That's champagne, so it's got a very slight pink tint to it, I suppose. I don't know why it's called champagne, but there we go. So that's the silver, that's the champagne, that's the champagne, that's the silver. And you've got the gold and you've got the copper. Now, you might not love somebody enough to use 4 different pieces of foil on your card, but you might. And if you do, They're very special. But what I wanted to do today was show you how to make one with just one colour of foil. So I'm going to make a silver and black card because I thought that would be good. So I'll show you how to make the card, and then, as I say, I'm going to go over how I did some of these bits, because you might be able to tell that that is one of those dies, and that is one of those dies, but you might be sitting there going, well, how's she got it all out of different foils? Well, I loved somebody enough to put a lot of effort into this card. Oh dear. So what we did, or what I did, was I got my Big Shot or any die cutting machine that you have. Oh, I'm going to try and do this. I don't normally do this on camera because I normally make a right old mess. So here's my Big Shot machine. So I've got the base plate, the thin die adapter, because we're using thin dies, and I've got my plastic plates, which I have to use because nearly everything gets sandwiched between the two plastic plates. So I put them on top and off we go all the way through. Now I'm not using, you could use the precision plate. So the precision plate, see, this is why I don't do it on camera. The precision plate is good for detailed dies, so lots of bits to pop out and things like that. But I just use this with my normal, so the normal platform that comes with the Big Shot, I've just used that because it's fine. And I don't mind poking out a few holes. And you can see on the back, everything's cut out fine. So I've got no problem with that at all. So that's just the normal base plate, normal thin die adapter, and the two plastic plates, and we are done. So they all pop out. Now you could, again, we do have one of these, and I keep mine in a wood mount box. So it goes like that, and when I use it, I just use that side. So I keep it in there, it leaves a bit of an indent, but when I want to use it, I turn it over. So I could sit there and do this, and it will, oh, in fact, it is easier. I was sitting peeping most of these out last night. But never mind, let's do it with this. Can you see that yet? So I'm quite forceful with it, but no, that one hasn't. So if they don't come out, just literally a little pop releases them, and you can grab hold of them then and pull it out. Is that going to work? I'll try each one, you never know. Depends how forceful you are. Yeah, that's pretty much all the fingers when I do this. Oh, see, this is why I sit and pop it out. There you go, look, way easier. So it's another die. I need to make sure I don't lose all these dies. So any big pieces, I just poke through. Mind your fingers. Lots of dangerous things doing this card. I've got heat embossing and pokey tools. So we could have a lot of accidents here. The grid paper does make the machine slip around. I know. I'm over it now though. So again, all the big holes. So I just making sure my fingers aren't underneath. Poke through all the big holes. I did loads of these yesterday, so I have no problem knowing they're going to come out and which ones to poke. But all the big ones first. There as well. And then when you look on the back, that's got most of them. But you can still see that this bit needs to come out, this bit needs to come out, this bit, some of these holes. So I'm now looking for the next size down. So these were all these great big ones, but look, there's a bigger one there. So not these tiny dots, that one there. Where else should we go? That one, that one, that one, and that one. That's bigger, that's bigger. And what that does, I hope you can see that, is, does that say that you can pick out, look, it's as easy as that. Right, so I've got another one. Is that it? Or one in the middle there. So you can imagine if I was doing this, we'd be here all day. If I was showing you each one of these. That one there, which is there. Just give it a little poke, there we go. That's my V out. I think I'm there. Oh, no, a couple of ones there. That one, that one. But they can be done afterwards. So just poke through, and again, just gently, you could poke more, but Gently peel it off and off it all comes, and then I can just get those tiny little ones. That's all been done. I think that's it. Right, and there we go. Oh no, still got one more. Hold on. There we go. So from those, so you can see all the dies I've used there. Let's get that out of the way. So I've used that big die there, the triple, and just some smaller ones, and I've just done a whole selection, and I put them all through together. So I didn't do one and then put it through again, and then do another one and put it through again, another one and put it through again. You know, as long as you're doing it all on the same sheet, put as many through as you can. So save yourself some time. Right, so I'm going to get rid of these for the moment, because in pure Blue Peter style, here's some I made earlier. Right. So, for your card, so the measurements for these are going to be on my blog, so you don't need to write them down now, or unless you really want to, but they're really quite simple. So this is a normal card base, so this is an A5 piece of paper, which is half an A4 sheet. So cut an A4 sheet in half, it leaves you with A5, fold your A5 in half, and you get an A6 card, of which you need C6 envelopes for. Now this measures 14.8 by 10.5 centimetres. So this layer here, which is going to be silver in this case, is half a centimetre smaller. So that is 14.3 by 10. As I say, these are all on my blog, don't worry about it. Now, depends how savvy you are. I know a lot of my ladies that when they know they're going to cover this up, they cut out this centre section so they can use it again. Now this foil paper is, I want to say off the top of my head, I should know this, £4.75 for 2 sheets of 12 by 12. And it's quite precious, I don't often use it. So again, if you just wanted to cut a frame, sort of this size, so leave a centimetre a frame, you could reuse all that bit. Again, me, I can't be bothered. But that's just me, and you could use it any time. So another black piece of card, so half a centimetre smaller again, so this is 13.8 by 9.5, so a centimetre smaller than that outside. And it gives you that nice clear border, it does if you've cut it nicely, that nice clean border, just a small border, and that metallic panel keeps it, just breaks it up really. Watching when I'm normally at work, being homesick has its benefits. Oh Ali, I'm sorry to hear that you're at home sick, but obviously not sick enough to be sitting watching me, so that's good. So, we're going to put these two to one side for the moment. Let me show you, I wanted to show, and hopefully this won't blind you, but here are the 4 colours. Oh dear, that's not good, is it? You can see all the light. Oh look, you can see me. How lovely for you. Right, so the top one here, let's do one at a time. This top one here is champagne. There's the copper. There's the gold, and there's the silver. So maybe you can, oh hello, you can see the differences there perhaps between the silver and the champagne. Yeah, is that picking up on camera? I'm not sure. Give me a thumbs up if it's picking up on camera and you can see the difference, or you can just see me going hello. Oh dear, hopefully you can, hopefully you can. Right, okay, but in this instance, we are just going to use the silver ones. So, look, here's some I made earlier. So I cut these all out. So I just kind of started, I knew I wanted my sentiment in the bottom right-hand corner, and I knew I wanted, in fact, I didn't know. I started off that way as a card, but I found that the cogs just went slightly differently. So that, you can just see, if you angle that at that, it fits perfectly on that side. I could go up to here, and I could start like that, and I could kind of go like that, but I wanted them to kind of be all quite close together, so I'm leaving that bit there. Ooh, see, this is where you start playing, and then with the spare ones, you start adding, and you just keep cutting until you know. So I could go, Could go like that. See, if I went like that, I'd be covering that up, so that would be ideal, but it's not. So we just play. We just play and decide what we want. Want that? Oh, decisions. I think I might go that. So that's roughly, so you're just filling the space. So filling the space with the big ones and then just filling in some of the gaps with some of those single ones. So I'm going to try and keep that vaguely like that because we are going to, in fact, let's just do that. We'll get there. What we're going to do is heat embossing. Now this was one of the first techniques that I got taught when I was making cards, and it's always a wow. And if you don't know what heat embossing is, it's different to dry embossing, and dry embossing has two different ways of doing it. You can dry emboss with your Big Shot machine now, or you can dry emboss with a stencil. But this is heat embossing, not, or sometimes some people call it wet embossing, but heat embossing. And for heat embossing, you need a heat gun. As the name suggests, we're adding heat. You need what I call a Versamark ink pad, and I'll talk through that in a second. And you need an embossing powder. So these are the three things. So let's put all that to one side for the moment. So the stamp that I'm using is the same one that says all geared up to celebrate. Now the first thing I do with embossing, so embossing powder is an ultra fine embossing powder. Well, Stampin' Up's brand is anyway, so it's super fine, gives great detail. But did you know that even when you wash your hands or anything like that, you still have oils in your fingertips and just you could put a spot of something on this as you pick it up and you cut it. You're leaving very small oil residue from your fingers and from your skin onto this. Now this powder is so fine that it will stick to anything that's very slightly sticky. So what we do is we use a little embossing buddy. So this is just a little material sack with some powder in. So it takes away any stickiness. So I'm taking my fingers out of the way and I'm brushing all over it, because if there's something that the embossing powder is going to stick to right now, that powder will. Now that's a super, super fine powder, so you don't kind of see it unless I did it like that. So a Versamark ink pad. I was going to say, I didn't know how much of a mess this was. Versamark ink pads do have a tendency to get filthy. So this is actually a clear ink. It's a glycerin-based ink pad, so it's not a colour. It's not meant to colour. It's meant to be sticky. Now you can stamp Versamark on a piece of coloured card, so not black, but any other colour you wanted to. So let's say we had a pink bit of card. If you were to stamp that on a piece of pink card, yellow card, whatever colour card, it would leave like a watermark effect. So that's why it's called a watermark stamp pad, because it just leaves a tone-on-tone watermark effect. So it doesn't colour it green or anything like that. It just gives a tonal watermark image on that. But that's not what we're using it for today. That's just another use for it. It's one of the most useful ink pads you can have in your stash. So today we're just going to ink up our stamp. We can't see it. We can't see where we are stamping. So we've really got to be clever and good. So this has quite a straight line along the bottom. So I'm going to use my grid paper to make my card straight. And then I'm going to cross my fingers and pray that I can line that up reasonably straight. Now if you have a Stamparatus, best thing. Now if I share that, I don't know if you're going to be able to see. You might not be able to see anything at all. Anyone see anything if I held that up? Can you see? Now that stays wet for quite a while, but we don't want to stand here talking for too long. So I just realised I need a piece of paper. Oh, I'll use the back of that. That's fine. Because embossing powder gets everywhere. So you could now put a tiny bit, but what you want is this powder to stick to that ink. So I could do it all gently like that, but you could just sit there and go like that, because it's only going to stick where it's going to stick. So give it as much as you like. We're going to pour all the rest away so it's not wasted. So So as I pour that, look at that, it's stuck. Now give it a really good flick, because anything that's not going to stick, you want to fall off. Now I've done pretty well there. Whoo! So you can see, now if I was to touch that it would smear. But right now that's got silver embossing powder, and you can kind of leave that for a little while now, because that Versamark ink stays wet for quite a while. That will stay quite happily. So if you were doing a whole load of these, if you were doing 10 or 20 of these cards and you wanted to do all these, you could quite happily do that. Now I'm going to make some noise. So if you've got headphones in, or if you are sensitive to noise, then turn your volume down. Because what we now have to do, now the powder has stuck to that, we now need to heat it. We're going to melt it. Now I do suggest, she says, moving something around. Oh, I've got rubbish. That if you did, sometimes, you know, accidentally when we ink stamps up, we have a little edge mark or anything like that. So I would suggest that you keep a little paintbrush, and anything that you think has stuck that you don't want to stuck. So if I'd had a great big mark there and powder was on there, before I heat it, I'd just brush it away. So always have a mini heat brush. So this is our heat tool. It's got an on and off switch. Simple as that. Now this is really strong. So if I did full blast and heated this and did that, it might blow all the powder off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it from underneath. So it's not going to blow the powder away, because it's not going to be in direct contact with the heat, or with the blow as such. So mind your ears and watch this. This is the magic. So on we go. Takes a little while to warm up, but watch it go. Ready? There it goes. I'm moving it along now. And I'm moving it along now. And that's it. And as soon as it's melted, hopefully you caught that, as soon as it's melted, leave it. If you keep heating it and keep heating it, you could, especially if you're doing over the top, you could burn it, which isn't very nice. And right now, you won't be able to see it. And if I rub my finger along it, it's probably going to burn it. No, we're all right. So it is slightly raised. You can't see it on here. So there's no point in me doing that. But look, it's silver. So what's not to like about that? So all nice. It is actually raised. That's what the embossed part is. It is raised. But ultimately, it's now a nice silver writing, so it's now going to go along with that. So, I mean, that's my top tips for heat embossing. Really simple, but really effective. And I have to say that more and more cards that I'm looking at these days, all the sentiments are heat embossed, whether it's white on black card, or whether it's gold and silver, or in this case, copper. Did this one copper? And you get a whole variety of colours as well. Most people would just use black embossing, because you can stamp an image and heat emboss it to make a raised image, and then you can colour those images in. So black's a popular colour. White is very popular for on darker colours, and silver and gold. They're probably your most used embossing powders, and they last forever. I mean, that pot will last forever and a day, because we're using a tiny amount, and then we're going to throw the leftovers back into the pot. So now we have a couple of, and I've just realised I didn't get it out, a couple of different options for this, but I am a bit of a glue girl. So I'm using my Tombow glue here, multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to stick them on with that. Now if you get too sticky with glue, then I would recommend that we've got double-sided adhesive sheets, but what I would have done is the silver foil, the piece of silver foil, I would have stuck it to the double-sided adhesive sheet before I cut these out. And then as these were cut out, I'd just peel the backing off, it would be cut exactly the same, and I'd stick it on. I've just realised that's not out. And that would be really simple, but I never think to do that. So in my case, I'm going to use my Tombow, and I'm not going to put too much on, just going to go round. So the circle there, the middle there, a bit lighter there. You don't want so much that it's going to squish out all over your card, even though it does dry clear, so it's not a major catastrophe if a bit does come out. But, oh, there we go. Right, so I'm a bit of a tweezer girl, so I'm going to get my tweezers now to help me with that. Now, how do we do the first one? Is it like that? I think it was like that. So this is it. Now I'm going to go off the edges and it's not going to be a problem. Did I do that? Might have done that. Can't remember. Doesn't matter though. So just going to do that. Put it down there. And if you don't want to rub that side, just turn it over. Oh look, there's one I did earlier. Just in case I cocked it up. So there we go. That one's down. And then what did we decide with that one? Sort of like that, I think. Oh, that looks good. So again, so you can see it doesn't take any time at all with this. Put it in the middle. And I've just thought, I don't know if Zoe's still there. She's at work. Well, she's supposed to be at work. Are you still there, Zoe? Is it really busy at work? Anyone else watching at work? Oh, Ali loves heat embossing. Who doesn't love heat embossing? It's the best. It's the first thing that, well, not the first thing crafters learn, but one of the first things that just does make you go, wow. So, there we go. I'm going to put that still quite close. And again, do that. I'm not going to worry that that's going to stick to the paper. And I'm going to trim it off in a little while, but it's just easier to do that there. Oh look, now I've got glue there. We'll have to cover that bit up with a cog. Right, and do you want that? Ooh, might do that. And in fact, I might. Oh, decisions. That's quite nice there. Oh, now look, because I couldn't remember what I did. That's quite nice there. I might cut that off. I'm definitely not going to use those. There we go, and I can use those in another place. So let's glue those down. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? Except for we're watching glue dry. I'm trying to be super quick here. And you're getting the idea anyway. And I did think if I did, oh no, what was it? It must have been that way. Was it that way? Ah, I can't remember. There, I'm going to do it there. Right. And again, I'm just going to press it. So I'm going to cut off all these excess bits. That's good. I then might put that bit there. So I'm just using all the bits. Oh, let's chop that off. There we go. And we'll stick him on. And then just filling in the gaps. So as I say, you can use some of the larger cogs cut down. You can use some of the smaller ones that you bought. Or you cut, not you bought. Well, you would have bought it. I just want to make sure that I'm not covering up that sentiment, which we're not. I'm thinking that one up there. So just filling in the gaps. Oh, tiny dots because they're tiny ones. As you can see, it does take some patience, so you have got to really love the person that you send this card to. Fiona's watching at work, yay! Okay, so I'm definitely needing something there. So that could go there. What else could go there? So I'm just, that one could, or even bigger maybe. Let's see, is that too big? Yeah, it's too big. Quite like that one. And it covers my glue dot as well, so we'll stick that one down. And you could, I mean, some of these have got, haven't got holes in the middle, so you could raise, oh, see now I'm starting to talk to myself, but I can't do that now because I haven't done the others. But some of these single ones you could raise up with dimensionals. That'd be good. That'd look nice. What else have we got? Oh, I'm all I'm stuck there now. I'm thinking maybe a little one there. And something over here. Oh, maybe that. Bit big, bit big. Just that bit? Maybe. Or maybe that bit, maybe that bit. So, I've only glued half of that this time. I probably put a bit too much on, but it'll dry. It's all good. Did I stick that one? No. So just keep going until you're happy. You might like your cogs more laid out. And of course you don't have to use the big die. So you don't have to use this one. I just thought it kind of covered a lot up. You could cut lots of single dies and just put them down as they are. So there we go. We could leave that like that. Where's our card? We could go a little bit 3D with our card and leave all that hanging off the edge, but a little bit untidy for me. Well, that does look quite cool. If I'd left that on, it does look quite cool. But neat and tidy Nat says we must cut them off. So I always do this upside down, because if I do that, you tend to think too much about it. Whereas here, all you're doing is just following the lines. Following the black edges. You're not worrying about, have I missed this, have I done that? It all sticks to your scissors. But doing this, you're not thinking about that. You're just cutting the lines without thinking. And it always works out, so don't worry. Don't panic. They're bringing that back, aren't they? Don't panic, Mr. Battering. Although I still see it on TV a lot. Dad's Army. There is a new one, I'm sure, coming out. Right. Nadine's just had a brainwave. Split pins brads through the middle and cogs would revolve. Oh, they certainly would. And you could have a whole party doing that. But yes, absolutely. Spinning cogs would work. Right. So that's on there. That's on there. Look at that. I love that. That's how good, isn't it? It's handy. I did hope that would work in one colour as well. So it could be good for Father's Day. Father's Day isn't until June, but if you're somebody who likes to get ahead of themselves with their crafting, then this could be a Father's Day card. And in fact, in the stamp set there is a Happy Father's Day. So you could do that and just put that there. Best Dad, you're a classic. I'm not sure they'd appreciate that. Now you could put this flat, but I like a little bit of dimension, as I've already said. So I will put some dimensionals on there. I do use the edges, but I do cut them up. Ooh, a little bit close now. There we go. Ta-da! Right, I'll just push all those in. It just raises the edges, which means that they're super quick to peel off. They won't be now, I've said that, of course. So, what do we think? Metallics, still very fashionable, still very in. Mixed metallics, very on trend. Make sure I'm not sending a card to Australia or a left-handed person. Make sure it's all right. And I'm just going to make sure, before I push it down, that I've got an even border all the way around. And when I'm happy with it, then I'll apply the pressure. But there we go. Look at that. How cool is that? So, I did say that I'm going to show you what I did with this, or just show you a little tip of how to make this. This was made exactly the same, but obviously we have all the different colours and all the different foiled cogs on this. So what I did, I made it exactly the same, however, I cut out a black one of the large cogs, so there it is. So that's there. So I cut out a couple of those. I think I actually did 3 in the end. And I used that as a template. I also cut a couple of gold ones, a couple of silver ones, a couple of platinum ones, a couple of copper ones. And what I did was I literally took my scissors and I cut all the cogs apart. Every single one. I cut. So they were all in bits. So, oh, look at there. And can you guess what I did next? Oh, cut it wrong, that's what I did next. Right, so I then had a selection of different colour cogs, and I could choose what I wanted to do. So I'd get this one, I'd go, right, I'll have gold there, and I did work, I didn't do it initially, I was just looking for my layout, and I didn't want really any two colours next to each other. So I kind of went gold there and gold there. Then I would, oh, it's not going to work, is it? Do you know what? Because I've only got some leftovers, because I've done, you get the idea though, don't you? I mean, let's put the copper one there. So I wanted gold there, copper there, silver there. I've got a big one like that. We've got gold as well. Or in fact, let's do, oh look, I could do that. That's platinum. Or maybe I'll do platinum. You can just keep playing, you see, and go from there. Look, here's one I made earlier. Because I haven't got enough left over, I thought I might have. So what I did, there is some distinguishing marks with these as well. So when you, so let's move those out of that way. So you do know where the joins are. And you do, as you start doing them, you do get used to them. So you know that those two little legs there, nothing wrong with little legs, actually go there because that's where you cut it. So you can stick that. And again, you could use the double-sided adhesive sheets, but I use Tombow. So I just put a few dots of Tombow on like you saw me do earlier, and I stuck that one on. And just use the black as a template. So that's that one done perfectly. Then I knew that on this there were a couple of bits. This one was a little harder, but it goes like that. Because in fact there's a tiny bit there and a tiny bit there that is noticeable. In fact that's a lie. That's a lie, because these big dots have to, it's not too bad actually. You have to get, oh let's move in that way. You have to get these 4 big dots matching up with those 4 big dots. So that's your starting place until they, there you go, that matches up perfectly. And just keep going. So you can see on this one that you've got a dodgy bit there and a dodgy bit there. So that's the 2 bits where it joins. So you just keep moving it round. You think, right, that's there. Maybe not. But yeah. Oh, no. This one was easy because of that bit there. She said it's easy, now she's doing it, look. That's it. We just keep playing. It is obvious, honestly. Once you get going, it's obvious. There's the cut off bit there. There you go. And that's it. So they do have some distinguishing marks. And I just stuck them down until I ended up with something like this. So this one hasn't got, so you've got copper there and copper there. You've got champagne there and there, a gold in the middle and a silver there. So haven't got any one colour sitting next to each other. Even though the champagnes look close to the silver, when you see them like that, they're not. And then I did, let's say that's the card, do exactly the same. I layered that one like that. I had another one, and then I had all these leftover cogs that you see here, and I just started filling in the gaps. As simple as that. So doing that. Get a big one over there. So I think I cut, what you saw, I've done 3. So I've done 3 of the big cogs and used about 2.5 of them. Oh, in fact, look, there's all the other extra cogs. Look. Ta-da! So they're all the single ones that I did as well. And you could just pop those. So there is nothing to say that you can't sit there and do that. You can sit there and do that and put them all on there like that if you want to randomly do it. And that's where your Brad's idea might come in. So hello, Jill. Just finished your knee rehab. Good. Oh dear. So you could do single ones. There's nothing saying you can't. But I just thought it was easier like that. And I did like the metallics all going in there. So there we go. So all silver. And of course you can do all copper, all gold, all champagne, whatever you want to do. You could even do black on black, but it wouldn't, well, it's all the, look at the, can you see the detail on there? I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up or not. Can you see the detail of all the lines? Can you? I don't know. Can you see it? Hopefully you can, but you could do black on black and it would look quite cool as well. So you'd see the designs and the pattern. But metallic, as I say, you can't miss a metallic. And you don't just have to do it with foil either. As I said, you could do it with the black card, but we do lots of coloured glitter cards as well. So you could sit there and do a whole load of glitter. So these could be or glimmer card as it's officially called, but it's a glitter paper. So you could do it all in glitters. You could do it in pink glitters and make it for a lady. You could do whatever you wanted to do. You could do black and white and just do them in white. You could do them black and white and then colour all the white. So it's multicoloured. You can have a rainbow of cogs. The world's your oyster really, isn't it? So that's it. So that's my kind of man's card idea. It's a little bit different. As I say, can be used for birthdays, celebrations. Great if someone's just passed their test. Father's Day coming up, all sorts. And look at all these cogs I've got left over now that I can still play with. Right, well, I think that is it. As I say, don't forget, you've only got till Sunday for celebration. Don't forget you've got from Monday for the storage. If you don't know what I'm talking about because you've missed it and you've only just turned up, then have a look at the start or have a look at the blog post once I do it. But other than that, I think that's it. Don't forget, if you shop online with me, in fact, let's do that so you can see me now. Hello! So don't forget that if you shop online to use the online host code. Again, if you go to my website, it's all over there. It gets you freebies from me on top of the celebration freebies and a thank you card. I love to thank my customers for shopping with me. I understand you have alternative people you could go to, but I love that you shop with me and I'd love you to shop with me. There's the details there. And yes, and don't forget that I have a customer rewards program as well. So every £40 you spend, you get a point from me. And when you get 10 points, you can have a £40 shopping spree on me. Right, I think that's it. If you don't subscribe to my Facebook page, then please do so, or give me a like, and then Facebook will tell you when I'm going live, which will be next Wednesday. If you're watching this replay on YouTube and you're not a subscriber, then again, hit the subscribe button and Stampin' Up will Stampin' Up. They won't tell you. YouTube will tell you when I upload a video. So, right, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for joining me. I have no idea what I'm doing next week yet. Haven't even thought about it. I've got lots of things to do before then, including Mother's Day. Got to make my Mother's Day card yet as well. That's not the one for me, that's the one for my mum. So if you are a mum, whether you're a mum of a furry people, that's not right, is it? If you're got furry friends that you're mums to, or that you're a mum, whatever, have a lovely day on Sunday. And if you're not a mum, then just make the excuse and put your feet up. I think you should. Mum to plants, mum to the garden, mum to the house, mum to whatever, and enjoy the weekend. Have a lovely weekend. Hopefully the sun's going to come out. It's all got a bit cloudy out here, actually. But yeah, have a great weekend, and I will be back next week. No problem, ladies. Nadine saying bye. Ali saying thanks for the inspiration. My pleasure. Paula's going thanks for some great tips. No problem. Hopefully you have all maybe picked up a little tip along the way. So that's it. Other than that, I'm going to leave it be now. So see you next Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. See you later. Bye.